This week on Asia First, we've been analysing the roots of the recent riots in the UK and examining the lessons learned. So far, we've looked at anti-immigration sentiment in Britain and the role of disinformation.
Well, today, we put the spotlight on far-right ideology, something that's seen in politics and populations driven by personalities and socio-economic issues. But could a similar movement gain traction here in Singapore? As CNA's Rebecca Mateo reports.
The similarities between tech magnate Elon Musk, influencer Andrew Tate, and UK political activist Tommy Robinson aren't immediately clear. But a quick scan of their social media posts shows a history of content that can be deemed far-right. Another connection: all of them stoke anti-immigrant sentiment after news emerged about an asylum seeker who apparently killed 3 girls in the UK town of Southport. In Mr. Robinson's case, he continued to push the narrative, even after it was revealed that the alleged killer was a local teenage boy. Mr. Robinson, who's known to be anti-Islam, even led protests in the violent aftermath of the killings.
I think some people on the far right see them as heroes. More than what they say, it's the fact that they've got a voice and the fact that they've got connections and they're able to share things through social media networks and through email lists. And that allows news to spread and that allows people to mobilise to cause violence. So it's not that Tommy Robinson says we should do this and therefore we do it. It's Tommy Robinson told us that this is happening and therefore let's get involved.
For some politicians, such as the Reform UK Party's Nigel Farage,
whether the truth is being withheld from us,
nationalist ideology has a ready audience.
This give a voice, political voice, and also legitimate the message. Sometimes it's the one issue thing. Maybe it's just about immigration or it's just about anti-Muslim or religious view or race view. It start with one issue and after that it open a little bit bigger, bringing families and people that were not really committed or not really inside of this group, but seeing this movement as a part to going towards the good direction.
According to UK political watchers, the far-right movement there has roots in fascism. Over time, these have evolved to address more modern issues, but traits like opposition to liberal values, national glory, and sometimes violence have remained. When things come to a head, communities like this one in Liverpool have to pick up the pieces. In what was a rare bright spot, residents of various backgrounds came together to clean up after the rioting and reassure minorities of their safety. City officials also put aside political differences to condemn the violence as racist and criminal.
We were really keen to come together across the political parties and actually show that there's much more that unites us than divides us. And whilst we might have different political views, we might represent different communities in different parts of the city, at the end of the day, we all strongly believe in democracy.
Singapore has not been spared from radical ideology brought on by the pervasiveness of the internet. In fact, 2 cases in recent years were linked to far-right extremism. Both involved teenagers who plotted to carry out attacks, and both were dealt with under the Internal Security Act. There are other measures. Laws exist to counter hostile information campaigns if foreign actors attempt to sow discord in Singapore's communities. In such cases, the authorities can direct internet entities to help in investigations, take down content or suspend accounts. There's also POFMA, which targets fake news in a similar way. One expert suggests a softer approach to be taken at the same time.
There are so many sites. It is important to build individual and community resilience, develop critical thinking, digital literacy, to understand best practices in knowing how to evaluate what one reads or views online. I think social media space is particularly important. And how to engage it. You can't run away from social media now because it's very much part of our world.
When it comes to political discourse, experts say Parliament has proven to be a useful, moderating platform, especially when discussing foreign talent policies.
when such issues, potentially sensitive issues, are discussed in Parliament, it is important that the debates are conducted constructively, in a way that is respectful, in a way that comes up with potential solutions that are actionable, implementable in the context of our globalized, diverse, multicultural society.
The message is clear and consistent. Singapore has zero tolerance for hate speech, a position often repeated by the country's leaders. Anything otherwise puts the very fabric of Singapore at risk.